How do you find the best speaking opportunities?
How'd you do that?
I see that success is not something you pursue, it is something you are.
All right, so I get it. You don't want to look for any scrub speaking opportunities. You don't want the $2 gigs. You don't want the dollar gigs, 50-cent gigs. I get it. You want the better gigs. So how do you find a better quality of speaking gig? So first off, if you're not getting gigs, if your calendar isn't doing pretty decent, then you don't want to disqualify people. You don't want to say, oh, I'm just going to look for only these gigs, because you need to understand why you're not getting gigs to begin with. And more often than not, it's because you don't know how to actually find the gigs. You don't have the systems set up to find the gigs. And then second, you don't actually have any systems set up to contact them for the gigs. So if you're not getting gigs, you need to just think in terms of, I'm just going to contact anyone and everyone to see if they can hire me. So that's number one. But how do you find the quality gigs? Let's say you're doing pretty decent. You just want to get a better quality of gig more often. What do? Well, you got to get more clear on who hires you. So get more clear on the specific people, the specific events that are willing to pay the amount that you're going to ask for. So I know, for example, that the people who hire me right now that pay me exactly what I want are award banquets and dinner banquets. Whenever they have those kind of events, I know that they hire me more often than not. So the more clear you are on who hires you or what events hire you, then the more likely you're going to be able to find quality events. And you got to think in terms of like, what's the qualification threshold, I guess. So how do you know they hire speakers like you? Ask yourself, what indicators show you that they hire speakers like you? Are they interested in you specifically or just a random speaker? And then have they taken the next steps? So the greatest indicator is that they've hired a speaker like you in the past. So if you're looking at, let's say an award banquet, and you're looking at this company and you notice, oh, they hired a sales speaker in the past. Well, now you're like, okay, I'm a sales speaker, which means they'll probably hire me as well. So the greatest indicator is that they've hired speakers like you beforehand. So you can only find quality gigs after you do this enough times, after you contact enough people and you realize, like, you'll start to see patterns and you'll say like, wow, I noticed that a lot of sales organizations hire me all the time. So you'll start to see patterns, and then from there, you'll start to change up your messaging to get hired more often by them. So maybe at the beginning, you send an email and you say, I'm the greatest speaker in the world. And eventually you realize you're getting hired by sales organizations. So now you say, I'm the greatest speaker in the world for sales organizations. Oh, I make your salespeople hungry. And so you get more specific the more you contact people. What you really want to have is like an instant disqualification process. A perfect example for me is seminars. When someone says that they're having a seminar, that's pretty much an instant disqualification for me, because I know that seminar speakers do not hire other speakers. Seminar speakers, they want a speaker to come in to sell a product and then to do it like that. And me, no, I need to get paid to be there. So when someone says they're doing a seminar, I instantly say no. So you want to have like this instant disqualification process. Like, is there anything where you literally won't do it, or where you know that by talking to them is just a waste of time because you know in the end that it just won't work out? I mean, really, when it comes down to finding quality gigs, it comes down to you contacting enough people to where you can see the patterns in terms of who hires you. Then you make your message more specific to them, and then you kind of say like, hey, hire me or I'm gonna slap the crap out of you.